It doesn't seek the comfort of a flock, it doesn't follow the crowd, and it doesn't rely on the noise of others to validate its direction. Instead, it chooses the sky by itself, embracing the quiet, the distance, and the discipline required to fly at altitudes most birds cannot even imagine. This keynote teaches the mastery of solitude, because every individual who has ever risen above the ordinary has done so by stepping away from the noise of the world and stepping into their own inner space. Solitude is not loneliness. It is an environment of clarity. When you choose to walk your path alone, you begin hearing thoughts you've ignored, visions you've avoided, and truths you've been too busy to confront. The ego teaches us that being alone is not a weakness but a capability. It is the ability to separate yourself from distractions, opinions, judgments, and expectations that do not belong to your destiny. The higher you go, the fewer birds you see. The higher you rise in your goals, the fewer people there are who understand your journey. This is why many people never reach their true potential. They are too attached to being surrounded, supported, and approved by others. But the ego reminds you that real power comes when you stop needing a crowd to confirm your direction. When the ego decides to fly, it lifts itself with confidence. It trusts its wings, its instincts, and its vision. That is the essence of the solitary mindset, trust in yourself. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in your life will happen when you are alone. When you sit in silence with your thoughts, when you detach from noise, when you stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your path, you begin to unlock levels of mental strength the average person never reaches. Growth requires space, and solitude gives you that space. It gives you room to reflect, room to create, room to plan, room to reset, room to sharpen the mind, room to reconnect with your true nature. People often fear being alone because solitude forces them to confront the truth. It exposes their weaknesses, their insecurities, their unfulfilled dreams, their unfinished battles. But what they don't realize is that every powerful transformation in life begins with honest confrontation. Just as the eagle stands on a cliff alone before launching into the wind, you must stand in your truth before rising into your potential. Solitude is the training ground for courage. It teaches you to rely on your inner strength instead of external noise. The eagle doesn't ask other birds, "Should I fly today?" It rises because it knows that flying is its purpose. In the same way, you shouldn't wait for permission from people who cannot see your vision, cannot feel your calling, and cannot comprehend your altitude. Another profound lesson from the eagle's solitary flight is the understanding that elevation requires separation. You cannot rise while tied to relationships that hold you down, environments that limit your thinking, habits that weaken your discipline, or people who keep you grounded because they fear their own lack of growth. Some people are meant for your past, not your future. Some environments are meant for your comfort, not your greatness. When the eagle flies to the sky, the small birds fall away because they cannot breathe at that height. The same happens in your journey. Not everyone can withstand the altitude you are moving toward. You must be willing to detach from what drains you, distracts you, or delays you. Your vision requires distance. Distance from negativity, from doubt, from gossip, from fear-based thinking. Solitude also sharpens the eagle's senses. It observes, analyzes, and then takes decisive action. In your life, this means learning to use alone time to think with precision, to plan with clarity, and to align your actions with your higher goals. When you slow down the world around you, you speed up your internal progress. Noise confuses the mind, but silence strengthens it. The ego doesn't achieve mastery by constantly being surrounded. It achieves mastery by continuously returning to the sky alone, where it sharpens its ability to adapt, survive, and dominate. Being alone teaches self-reliance. It teaches resourcefulness. It teaches confidence. When you don't depend on others to move, to grow, to think, or to believe, you become unstoppable internally. Solitude becomes your superpower because it frees you from the fear of being left behind, the fear of being judged, and the fear of being misunderstood. The eagle shows you that the journey to greatness is not meant for the many. It is meant for the few who are brave enough to lift off alone and trust the power of their own wings. The eagle's eyesight is one of the sharpest in the animal kingdom. It can see its target from miles away and lock onto it with absolute precision. This is not just a physical ability, it is a mindset. It is the art of ignoring everything that does not serve the mission. In a world full of noise, distractions, temptations, and endless paths that lead nowhere, the eagle teaches a rare discipline, the discipline of focus. When the eagle decides on its target, nothing else matters. Not the wind, not the clouds, not other birds, not the noises around it. It flies with intention, clarity, and unshakable direction. Most people lose their strength not because they lack talent, but because they lack focus. They scatter their energy on too many things, and their power becomes diluted. The eagle shows us that you cannot chase everything. You must choose your goal, fix your focus, and move with precision. Focus creates momentum, and momentum creates breakthroughs. When your mind is centered on one clear vision, your business, your discipline, your self-growth, your dream, your life becomes sharper, stronger, and more aligned with success. The eagle's vision also teaches patience. It does not rush, it observes. It waits, it studies the environment. It understands timing. In the same way, achieving your goals requires patience, strategy, and the ability to ignore temporary distractions. Not every opportunity is your opportunity. Not every movement requires your reaction. When you focus like an eagle, you stop being busy and start being effective. And finally, the eagle reminds us that clarity is power. When your vision is clear, doubt disappears. When your target is defined, confusion dissolves. When you know exactly what you want, the world around you begins to bend toward your direction. Focus turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It turns dreamers into doers. It turns potential into purpose. The eagle does not fear the storm. It embraces it. While other birds hide and flee from the wind and rain, the eagle spreads its wings and rises higher, using the very force that threatens it to elevate itself. This is one of the most powerful lessons for anyone striving for greatness. Obstacles, challenges, and storms are not your enemies. They are your fuel. Life will always present difficulties, failure, rejection, heartbreak, financial struggles, or personal setbacks. But how you respond determines whether you rise or remain grounded. Most people run from discomfort because they are afraid of pain. They avoid challenges because the struggle feels overwhelming. But the eagle knows that strength is forged in the storm. Every gust of wind, every turbulent cloud, and every lightning strike carries within it the opportunity to grow stronger, sharper, and more resilient. The eagle does not complain or seek shelter. It adapts, it harnesses, it uses the storm to its advantage. In life, you must learn the same skill to turn adversity into acceleration, to convert pressure into power. The storm also teaches focus. When the wind howls and the sky darkens, the eagle is forced to concentrate. It cannot afford distractions. In the same way, challenges demand clarity and decisive action. Distractions that once seemed important fade away. The storm filters out everything that is not essential. Your true priorities become evident, and your mind learns to operate with precision under pressure. The eagle shows that mastery is not achieved in comfort. It is earned in the turbulence, in the moments when others give up. Resilience is another lesson of the eagle in the storm. It does not break under pressure, it uses the storm to rise. In your own life, the storms you face are opportunities to cultivate mental toughness. Each challenge you survive without surrendering makes you stronger. Each problem you confront with courage strengthens your wings. And each time you refuse to be grounded by fear or difficulty, you ascend to a higher level of skill, wisdom, and confidence. Storms are not setbacks, they are setups for elevation. Finally, the eagle's relationship with the storm teaches vision and courage. The bird understands that the storm is temporary, but the altitude it gains lasts a lifetime. In the same way, your struggles may feel intense, but they are temporary moments on the path to your higher purpose. The storm tests your determination, sharpens your instincts, and strengthens your resolve. If you can learn to rise above it, instead of being crushed by it, you will soar to heights few have ever imagined. The eagle doesn't survive the storm by avoiding it. It survives and thrives because it becomes one with it, turning adversity into advantage. The eagle is not just a master of the skies. It is a master of transformation. When it reaches a certain stage of life, it undergoes a painful renewal. It breaks its old beak, pulls out its old feathers, and rebuilds itself so that it can continue to fly at the highest altitudes. This process is neither easy nor comfortable, but it is essential for survival and growth. In life, true transformation also requires breaking, letting go, and enduring pain. If you want to rise above mediocrity, if you want to reach your highest potential, you must be willing to go through the discomfort of renewal. Most people fear change because it involves pain. They cling to old habits, outdated beliefs, toxic relationships, and environments that no longer serve them. They resist the necessary discomfort, and as a result, they stagnate. But the eagle shows us that growth cannot happen without pain. The breaking of the old creates space for the new. The shedding of what is weak allows the strong to emerge. Transformation is not about avoiding the storm or the struggle. It is about using the challenge to rebuild yourself stronger, sharper, and more capable. The process of renewal teaches courage. It demands that you confront your weaknesses, face your fears, and abandon what is familiar. Change is intimidating because it forces you to step into uncertainty, but it is in that uncertainty that your true power is born. The eagle's painful renewal is a metaphor for the life of anyone destined for greatness. You cannot soar at higher altitudes carrying the weight of the old. You must be willing to let go, break, and rebuild, knowing that each layer of pain is shaping you into a version capable of achieving the extraordinary. Renewal also teaches resilience and patience. The eagle does not rush the process, and neither should you. Transformation takes time. It is a deliberate, sometimes painful, act of self-discipline and trust. You must trust that the shedding of old habits, limiting beliefs, and unhealthy patterns is a necessary part of your evolution. Each step of the painful process is a preparation for flight, a preparation to rise above challenges that would have once held you down. Like the eagle, you are not weakened by the pain, you are strengthened, sharpened, and readied for the next stage of life. Finally, the eagle reminds us that renewal is a choice. You can cling to what is familiar and remain grounded, or you can embrace the pain of transformation and soar. Growth demands action, courage, and the willingness to endure discomfort for the promise of something greater. The path to becoming an eagle in life, someone who flies above the noise, above mediocrity, above limitation, requires the same discipline, the same courage, and the same willingness to endure the pain of renewal. Your next level of success, freedom, and vision depends on your ability to embrace transformation, no matter how difficult it may feel. The eagle does not live in lowlands. It lives in the mountains, above the ordinary, above the noise, above the chaos. Its flight reminds us that life is not meant to be lived on the ground of mediocrity. You are designed for heights that demand courage, vision, and unwavering commitment. To fly like the eagle, you must raise your standards, elevate your thinking, and pursue goals that challenge and transform you. Anything less than your highest potential is a compromise, and the eagle does not compromise. Neither should you. To reach the highest peaks, you must embrace the mindset of elevation. This means thinking bigger, acting bolder, and refusing to settle for what is safe, comfortable, or predictable. The eagle does not circle endlessly over a small hill. It climbs the strongest winds to soar above the clouds. Your life's highest vision requires the same daring approach. You must push past fear, push past doubt, and push past the limitations imposed by society, by others, and sometimes even by yourself. Every step you take toward the peak is a step toward your destiny. The climb is not easy. The winds will resist you. The storms will try to knock you down. But the higher you go, the clearer your perspective becomes. From the peaks, you see opportunities that others cannot see. You see solutions that are invisible from the ground. You see the path that leads to your greatness. The eagle teaches that elevation is not just about strength. It is about perspective, clarity, and vision. When you rise above, you gain the wisdom to navigate life with precision, confidence, and power. Finally, flying to the highest peaks is a reminder of purpose. The eagle's life is not random. It is deliberate, powerful, and majestic. Your life deserves the same intention. You were born to soar, to dominate your challenges, and to live with a vision so grand that ordinary distractions and obstacles cannot hold you down. The world may try to keep you grounded, but you have wings stronger than doubt, determination sharper than fear, and a spirit braver than any storm. So rise. Lift yourself above the ordinary. Let your ambition carry you higher than comfort, higher than criticism, higher than mediocrity. Stretch your wings of courage and clarity, and soar where only the few dare to fly. The sky is not the limit. It is your kingdom. Be the eagle, the king of the sky, the master of your destiny. Your life is meant for altitude, and the highest peaks are waiting for you to claim them. Fly boldly, fly powerfully, and leave the world below, inspired by your rise. You have learned the lessons of the eagle, the power of solitude, the clarity of focus, the strength in storms, the courage to transform, and the vision to rise above. Now it is your turn. The sky is not a limit. It is your kingdom. You are not meant to crawl with the ordinary. You are built to soar where few dare to go. Every challenge you face, every fear that whispers, every obstacle that stands in your path is not there to stop you. It is there to teach you, sharpen you, and prepare you for altitude. The higher you fly, the more you will see, the stronger you will become, and the more the world will recognize your greatness. Not because of what you say, but because of the power of your presence, the decisiveness of your action, and the mastery of your mind. The eagle does not apologize for flying higher. Neither should you. Let your vision guide you, let your discipline propel you, and let your courage carry you above the clouds of doubt and limitation. The storms will come, the winds will test you, and the climb will demand everything you have. But at the peak, you will discover what few ever see: freedom, clarity, and the mastery of your destiny. So rise, stretch your wings of purpose, strength, and clarity. Look down only to see how far you've come, and look forward only to see how far you can go. The world below is filled with mediocrity, but above, in the realm of the eagle, there are no limits. Claim your altitude, own your vision. Soar like the king of the sky, and let your life be a testament to the power of the eagle mentality.